Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, and holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing. If you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a
Hi, happy Sunday, everybody. It is Sunday, right? Sunday, April 27th, 2025. Christopher Engelby. Hi. So lovely to see you on this Sunday morning now that I've confirmed that it is indeed a Sunday. Beverly's running in. Sweat dripping. Beverly, I need to drip some sweat today. Thank you for reminding me. I need to drip some sweat today. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Cellulite Yoga Pants Lisa B in the house. Courtney's taking a gummy. Hi, Erica. How are you? Guys, I just want to share with you something that I think is so cute. My little nephew, Plaid, we'll call him Baby Plaid. Do you know what his favorite song is? It is so cute. It is not a kid's song by any stretch of the imagination. It's a Chapel Roan song. And apparently it's the only one that will make him happy in the car. And it's Pink Pony Club. Pink Pony Club. Isn't that so funny? And my sister told me that he has approximately 5 replays of the song. So, like, to get to my house from her house and back is approximately 4 replays. So, I'm just laughing. And now, because I've played it for him, it's popping up on my playlists, like my YouTube playlists. And so I was just listening to that before we got started. Thank you for posting the link to that song, Cellulite Yoga Pants. It's a great song. But it's so funny that he loves it. He likes the little high parts and stuff. Great. Oh, riding a bike, Beverly. You know what? Here's the thing, guys. Let's just have a little talk before we get into this. Actually, I have to say 2 things. So, I have to exercise. I don't like doing it, but I have to do it. Messieurs, dames, bonsoir. Messieurs, dames, bonsoir. Oh, also, terrible. Some people were worried because they heard about the thing that happened in Vancouver last night. Terrible tragedy, obviously. But I live on Vancouver Island, so nobody that I know was affected. I appreciate the thoughts, but I'm totally safe. It's hours away from me, even though it says Vancouver and I live on Vancouver Island, and it seems like it's close. It's not. Everyone in my family's okay, but I think 11 or 12 people died in an incident last night at a parade, like a community fair or something like that. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. But just to put that out there, no, it was Vancouver, British Columbia. Yeah, the number does keep going up, unfortunately. It was Vancouver, BC. Vancouver, Washington is close to Vancouver, BC, but this one was Vancouver, BC. It was a Filipino festival. Vancouver is very diverse. Very diverse. And so there's a number of different community festivals and things that happen all throughout the year. So what really struck me terribly was when I was reading an article about it, like Hector, and the article previous to that had been explaining the event, like in a good way, like, oh, just know that there's this happening today and you can go and hang out and do it, and outlining all of the different things that might be there. And then of course the next article began live coverage of what is a tragedy. So that's very sad. Erica's driving her niece home. Please be safe. We'll be here for a little while. Erica, we're going to be covering yeah, I know, Courtney, like if I was, it's just very scary. We don't like things like that happening, obviously. But there's a reason that YouTubers don't talk about live events like that, because it's awkward and difficult and hard. So let's move on from that. Hi, Girl Dad Cooking Up Deliciousness. Thank you for being here. What are you making today? East 41st Avenue and Fraser Street, shortly after 8:14 local time, Vancouver Police Department. Yeah, Christopher, thank you. So I don't even know where that is. I've been to Vancouver maybe like 15 times in my life. Maybe more, but I don't know. But this isn't members only, Bill. Members only happens after. We do 2 shows on Sundays. But anyway, so I don't know where that is. Like, I have no clue how Vancouver works. I don't even know the order of the cities. Like, it's got Vancouver and Richmond and Burnaby and Coquitlam and all that kind of shit. I don't know where they are. I really don't. I live on the island. I live in Victoria. I live in a little bubble. Anyways, YouTube is for those who can't deal with reality. That's true. And with your leader, me. So, Canada is huge, Beverly. That's absolutely true. So, what we are watching today, though, and this is the second thing I wanted to talk about, we're going back in time a little bit, but not really. This hearing that we're going to watch is from the other day, Friday or Thursday, but one of the lawyers that we're going to see is somebody that we used to watch a lot in Judge Kim's court, I think, and Judge Sims. I think she was in both. Casey Bebus. Anyways, she used to look very... So during the pandemic, of course, everybody was just, making it work. And she had this really, really cool office that had like I think it was like a stone wall behind her. And I remember she used to wear like this white pantsuit type thing. She had nice hair. Oh, Christopher's on vacation day. Well, we're going with a long show today, Christopher, so I'm glad that you're here for it. But anyway, so the second I turn on this hearing and I look at her, I'm like, oh, wow. She doesn't look like she used to. And then I'm like, yeah, bitch, neither do you. Like, shut the fuck up. Maybe don't be so judgy. So... let's keep that in mind. I humbled myself. Ooh. Okay. Panko crusted salmon, sauteed asparagus, mashed potatoes with a salad. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Ooh, I like the sounds of that. I need to get a hookup for salmon. I need like a meat man. I need a meat man to hook me up. Hook me up. Wait, hold on. I gotta look at the times. I recorded this in 3 different settings. There we go. Okay, so the first one's gonna be, I think, in 2x. Also, you guys, I made what could have been. Thank God I'm still at home. Thank God today is a day where I work from home. But I made my coffee. I frothed it all up. I had my beautiful froth on my coffee, and I took one sip, and immediately I was like, "Oh, there's no sugar in this." And luckily I was home, so I just went in and put the sugar in. But, terrible mistake. I have to do things in the same order, and I got distracted today. Anyways, okay, so I think we're going to be... You drink it straight black. I mean, if I want to feel like that, Hector, I'll probably do something else.
I don't have any say so on that.
I just
Yeah.
saw the temp slash. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, well, again, I guess at the end of the thing, you can request what you want to, and we can see about making this a temp or a final. But let's see, we got, all right, we're live now, so we're on the record.
Adam, welcome in. Welcome in. Oh, cannoli flavor coffee. That's pretty good. Listen, Hector, we've always known that Paisley is addicted to cream and sugar. Less about the coffee, more about the cream and sugar. That's just not a good angle for Casey. Casey, you gotta go down. You gotta go down. Also, hi, Adam. Oh, I gotta slow this down. That's right. Sugar in your tea, though? I ate some... So, I've been using blue agave syrup lately as a sweetener. It's really good for liquids. Miss Carrie! How you doing, babe? We're thinking of you and sending good vibes. But blue agave syrup is a really good sweetener because you need less of it than sugar, but it dissolves really well even in cold liquids. So it's good for smoothies. It's good for cold brew. It's good for juices, etc. If you needed to add something to it, it dissolves well in a cold liquid, which is pretty rare. Pretty rare. Sir Philip! Oh my goodness! Ooh, everybody's coming out of the woodwork today. We love it. Thanks, guys. Make sure you hit the like button.
All right, this time I'll go ahead and call Bell County calls number 24 DFAM 348,008. This is in the interest of Navarro and Navarro Martinez minor children. Non-conservative party is Alexander Navarro. Conservative party is Angelica Martinez. This is from an original action filed by the state of Texas, petition establish parent-child relationship and petition and suit affecting parent-child relationship with AOP. One of the children in this matter, the parties did go ahead and sign off on an paternity for that child, but not on the second. The court will know for the record both parties have previously been noticed and served that Ms. Martinez is present pro se, Mr. Navarro is present represented by counsel Ms. Vivas. And so at this time, I'll ask the state for an opening to tell the court what the state's requesting we do here today and what you whether or not you're requesting this to be a temp or a final. And again, a lot of times we'll figure it out once we get into it, whether or not this can actually be a final based on some information that comes forward. So we'll see. And then I'll allow Ms. Beavis to make an opening statement on behalf of her client, Ms. Navarro, Ms. Martinez. I don't let pro se litigants make opening statements. I just want the lawyers to tell the court what they're requesting and what they understand the issues to be. And at the end of the hearing, if you wish to make a closing statement, a closing argument, I'll allow you to do that, ma'am, as your own legal representative. You're what we call a pro se litigant, so you're entitled to do that. Well, like I said, for right now, I just want the lawyers to tell the court what they're requesting and what they understand agreements and disagreements to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. So the state understands we're here to on petition to establish parent-child relationship, and then the petition is food affecting parent-child relationship. State understands that I don't that that neither party is disputing that Isaiah, child Isaiah, is a child of Mr. Navarro, and the other child, Amelia, has already been established as Mr. Navarro's daughter, based on the acknowledged paternity. State will very like be asking for current child support, cash medical, probably not cash dental. State does not know as much about what the circumstances of the parties are. Um, um, the state does have 2024 and 2023 10 Form 1040s for Mr. Navarro. The state has not sent him as an exhibit. The state's strongly concerned that there may be a mistake or something in it. I do have them ready to be submitted in case it comes up.
Hold on, did he just say he thinks there's a mistake in his filed taxes? How? Is that what he just said? Oh. Oh, Miss Carrie, so sorry to hear about all of this. It is so difficult to deal with death and people passing. We are here for you, whatever you need. I know Tammy has her mother-in-law's funeral today. We're sending her good vibes as well. Oh, it's tough. But we have a little community here that you can come to, you can vent. We're here for you. He had a whole wife elsewhere. Oh my God. But I believe it, Miss Carrie. We see it all the time in these courts. All the time. Also, hi, Chris. Oh my God. I just had a realization that if you have a 90-inch TV, that means I'm going to be on that TV. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Damn. Anyways. I guess I'm on notice. I gotta start looking even better. So I'm good at 90 inches as well. But this case, remember, Mom is pro se. Dad has brought Miss Bibas here. So he must make some money because he's hired an attorney. That's much more than we normally see. Well, Mac, I hate to be the stickler for this, but I used to be on TV before I was on YouTube. I used to do a parenting show about parenting tips and tricks on my local news station every week. So former television sensation, current YouTube star, and future television sensation once again, Paisley.
With social security numbers and redacted. And then the state also asked the court to, and the state has no interest in these subjects, establish conservatorship, determine if name change is appropriate. I can say, Your Honor, that the children are, first one was born in 2017, Amelia, the one without the AOP, and then the one with the AOP was born in 2021. So the one without the AOP would be about 8 years old then. And so the state would also like the court to establish appropriate orders for visitation and then also determine non-disclosure, Your Honor. And then the state will not take a position on retroactive child medical or dental support. And state does want a final order today, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Beavis.
Yes, Judge. We have filed a counter petition in this case. We are not disputing that Mr. Navarro is the father of Isaiah. We'd like to be adjudicated the father for purposes of this case. There's no doubt in our mind that we are the father of that child, or Mr. Navarro is. And um,
No, I'm sorry, proceed. Thank you.
Your Honor, I think there is a dispute as far as conservatorship and access and how visitation has been conducted over the past couple of years since the parties have been separated. My client, I believe, will put on evidence that he's actually been the primary conservator and had 4 nights a week as opposed to mom's 3. So we're disputing that mom would be entitled to receive child support and that she would have the exclusive right to do so. We believe mom is kind of operating more off an expanded standard, modified standard type of schedule where she gets 3 nights a week as opposed to the 4 that my client does, which is typically around the parties' work schedules, Sunday through Wednesday. And I believe that they have agreed to that schedule for the entire time that they've been separated, and that this is mostly just an issue about someone wanting child support. So we're asking, and we believe that the parties will testify, or my client will, that my client should have the exclusive right to designate the residence and receive child support, as he's been operating as that parent under that role, having 4 nights every 3 nights that mom has. I believe that the children are on Medicaid, and we're not disputing that. I don't think any type of non-disclosure is appropriate. There's been no allegations that that would be appropriate here.
All right, thank you. All right, at this time, Mr. Navarro, Ms. Martinez, and Ms. Martinez, you need to turn on your video and unmute yourself, and I need both of you to raise your right hands, please, and let me get you under oath.
Yes, just give me 1 second.
That's you at home. Raise your hands. Take the oath. Have a good time at the grocery store, John. Look for blue agave syrup. No, I'm just joking. It's very expensive. Oh, yeah. I remember now.
Okay.
Hi.
All right, thank you. All right, raise your right hand, ma'am. Thank you. All right, do you both solemnly swear or affirm your testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. And ma'am, you're not driving at this time, are you?
I was driving, yes.
Okay, well, you have stopped, right?
Yes.
Here's the deal, ma'am. Yeah, I don't allow people to drive while we try to have a court hearing. That's just a disaster waiting to happen, and it's not going to happen on my watch. So make sure
Okay.
you're over and your vehicle is off, and we'll go ahead and proceed at this time. Thank you.
Okay.
You're both officially under oath. Thank you. All right, you can put your hands down. Thank you. All right, I'll let the state go ahead and call your first witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. State calls Angelica Martinez. What is your full name?
Angelica Martinez.
What are the full names of the children in this case?
Amelia Luna Navarro, and then Isaiah Kylo Martinez Navarro.
When was Amelia born?
September 26, 2017.
So how old is she?
She is 7.
And when was Isaiah born?
October 16, 2021.
So how old is Isaiah?
3.
So so who has possession of the children right now?
I do.
All right. So Ms. Bibas said that basically Mr. Navarro has more possession of the children than you do. How
No.
often do you have possession of the children?
So, like she said, he gets them on Sunday night, and then I'll get them back Wednesdays.
And this is both children,
Hold
both
on.
Amelia.
So Sunday night, Monday. So he has them Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. And then Wednesday night she has them. So she would have Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. So she has the 4. Over it. A news now. is it? News media. News now, news media, something or other. I still say New Mexico. Okay, but again, that's good sharing. I hate to see it have to come to this for these people, but again, entertainment. Here we go.
And is that Isaiah?
Yes. Okay. But from what I've seen lately,
Okay, ma'am,
I
ma'am,
don't
ma'am,
know.
ma'am, 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 ma'am. Stop. You go, only answer the questions they're asked. You don't get to go into a narrative. If you need to make a closing statement, a closing argument, you can. But for right now, witnesses only answer the questions that are before them, have been tendered to them by the council. And so at this time, just answer the questions that Mr. Welch is asking. Then Ms. Beebles will have a chance to cross-examine. And then, ma'am, at the end of the hearing, if there's something that needs to come out that didn't come out, that you need to testify to, you can testify to that in the narrative as your own counsel, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, ma'am. So how often does he get the children Sunday nights to Wednesday?
Every week.
And when did this arrangement start?
After I pressed charges on him, I can't remember exact dates. I want to say 2, 3 years ago.
All right. So what do you mean by charges that you pressed on him?
I pressed charges on him because he put his hands on me.
All right. So was there a police report of this?
Your Honor,
Yeah,
anything prior to the filing of this suit. Mom hasn't pled for anything involving domestic violence, and this is something that's happened years ago.
Well, here's the deal, ma'am. I understand it's been it sounds like it's outside the 2-year time frame, but I need to know whether or not there's been a conviction. And so I'm gonna let the state go along this route for a little bit so we can figure out what the final disposition of that matter was. It was dismissed, and obviously Mr. Navarro is innocent until proven guilty. So that's the way this circumstance works. So at this time, Mr. Welch, go straight to the punchline. Was there a conviction? Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. So was there a conviction for these alleged crimes?
I mean, I went to court and they never called me back, so I don't know how it went.
All right. All right, ma'am, let's not go along that. Well, since you don't know, it sounds like there was not a conviction, ma'am. So, and it's been more than 2 years. So this is outside the purview what the court normally looks at. So I'm gonna let the state just proceed. But again, just listen to the question that's asked and answer the question that's asked. Don't add filler in like, that's after I did this, or this is when before he did that. All right. Thank you.
So let's move on to insurance.
You guys, my Fitbit. I need a new one. I need a new Fitbit. Actually, my Fitbit's fine, seemingly, but the straps keeps coming off all the time. So, anyways, what kind of thing to say is that? Like, oh, they never called me back? Like, ma'am, then why would you allege it? Why would you allege it? And the judge was just saying, just get to the punchline. Just get to the punchline.
What health insurance do the children have?
They both have Medicaid.
All right. Do you have access to private health insurance?
No.
Do you have access to private dental insurance?
No.
So how are you currently employed?
I work at a daycare.
And how much do you make there?
About 800 every 2 weeks.
That's $10 an hour. I've sorted out.
And
That's low.
do you have a college degree?
What?
Do you have a degree from a college?
No.
What was your last job before working at the daycare?
I was working at Lakewood Elementary, and then I had 2 jobs at the time. I was doing deliveries for Walmart.
And so when did you transfer from working at Lakewood Elementary and Walmart to working at this daycare?
I started working at the daycare in July.
Do you have any like other than your driver's license, do you have any like licenses or something else like that?
No.
Actually, I miss making collages.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Stevens, you're a witness.
Yes, ma'am. When did the two of you stop living together?
That's me or to Angelica?
That's it. All right, she's a witness now, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the question, Ms. Martinez?
Yes, I did. I'm trying to remember. It was, I was still like 6 months old, so I want to say 2022. And you've been doing a Sunday through Wednesday possession schedule, and when did you pick up Wednesday? I don't keep track of this, honestly. I can't, it's been too much. I have too much going on that I can't really remember. You don't know what day or what time in the afternoon or evenings you pick up on Wednesdays? After I get off of work, since I started working at the daycare, it's been after I get off of work. And it was like that when I was working at Lakewood also. Daycares typically close around 6. Is that when you get off of work at your daycare? Yes. Okay. And how many days a week are you working at daycare? Monday through Friday. So are you typically doing kind of the afternoon shift at the daycare, or are you the morning shift? I work all day. I go in at 7:30 and I get off around 6. And so who's kind of
Hold on, 7:30 to 6? And she only makes $400 a week? Somebody do the fucking math on that. How many hours a week is that? 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6. So that is 10 and a half hours. We'll take off an hour unpaid for lunch, which I think is generous. So 9.5 hours. Yeah, Courtney did the math properly. Not enough. Not fucking enough.
doing the afternoon pickup Wednesdays? Is Dad doing that? He's getting them from school or daycare? Well, the way I had it was my mom works at Amelia School. So sometimes I'll have my mom keep Amelia, and then sometimes he'll pick up Amelia. And then Isaiah gets to go to daycare with me. So when do you get Amelia? Do you come after late Wednesday night and get Amelia from Dad? When he has her, yes. And the two of y'all kind of been exercising this type of schedule for how long? Since I pressed charges on him, I can't remember the date. Objection non-responsive.
It's this thing, ma'am. If you don't remember the date, just say you don't remember the date. Again, stop adding items that were not requested in the question, ma'am. So if you don't remember the date, just say you don't remember the date. Thank you.
Has it been at least a year? Been over a year, yes. And Dad exercises his visits and you exercise yours. Is that fair to say? Yes. And these kids have always been on Medicaid? Mm-hmm. Yes. Does daycare provide childcare free for your youngest, or is that at a discounted rate because you work there? It's free. And there's no other expenses for Amelia after school care or anything like that? No. How do you and Dad communicate? Neither. We don't. Is it via text message, email? Text message, yeah. And so if something is wrong or the kids are sick, do you text him or Dad will text you? No. So you don't exchange antibiotics or anything like that when the children are sick?
Yes, whenever we exchange the kids, I'll just tell him, like, here's the medicine.
Okay. Where are you exchanging the kids at? Is there a specific place or just whoever's house?
Um, Family Dollar, sometimes Family Dollar, sometimes I'll drop him off at his house.
Okay. And what have y'all been doing regarding finances or anything that the children need?
Well, I buy my own stuff for my kids, and he gets his own stuff for the kids.
And so you've been able to kind of provide during your time, and he's been able to provide during his.
Yes.
Have you ever filed any custody paperwork prior to this?
No.
Is there any doubt in your mind that Mr. Navarro is the father of your youngest?
No. Good dad, yes.
That's all I have, Your Honor. I'll pass.
All right, the youngest has the ALP, right?
Let's see, Your Honor. The attorney is for Amelia, and Amelia was born on 2017. So it's the AOP is for the oldest.
Okay, I misunderstood. I thought you said it was for the younger. Okay, thank you.
So the younger them would be about 4 years old, Your Honor. So
Okay, I got it. I just got them mixed up. I wrote it down wrong. Sorry. That's was just clarifying. All right, and ma'am, real quick question is, are you the only one on the Medicaid grant, or is Dad on the Medicaid grant? Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. Anything on redirect, Mr. Welch?
yes, Your Honor, very briefly. Currently, ma'am, Azaya, the child without the acknowledged attorney, her last name or her name is Azaya Kylo Navarro Martinez. Are you okay with that currently?
Yes, it's his name.
And how is Mr. Navarro employed as far as you know?
No, we don't talk about that.
Pass a witness, Your Honor.
No questions.
All right, ma'am, where was he employed at the time y'all were still living together? Do you remember that?
He was doing haircuts, a barber.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other questions at this time of this witness from either attorney, Mr. Welch?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Phoebus?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Welch, call your next witness, please.
State calls Alexander Navarro. What is your full name?
Alexander Kane Navarro.
So are you the father of Amelia and Isaiah?
Yes, sir.
All right. So so do you have access to private health insurance that could be done for the children?
Yes, kind of. I have insurance for myself. I tried to see how much it would cost to get them on it, but since they're on Medicaid, they just said they couldn't. They could only have one. So
So what about private dental insurance?
I'm sure I could find it. I'm not on dental insurance myself at this moment, but if I had to, I could definitely.
Okay, so this is where it switches back to regular speed. I just realized I never had a minimum wage job. My first job was $10 an hour. That was in 2003. And at that time, $6 an hour was the minimum wage. And I protested, I remember, because we chanted $6 sucks, $6 sucks, $6 sucks, for them to raise minimum wage. But I worked for, here, don't get the wrong idea. I was woefully underpaid still because I worked for one of the largest banks in the world as a teenager, and Gotta love that. Don't take it like I worked for some good small business who was like paying a living wage. No, 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 no. Also, they made us do a lot of unpaid work at the bank that I will not name. Anyways, allegedly.
Get them on it and figure that out.
And your private health insurance, is that through your employer or through another source?
Okay, so I kind of confused on the definition of private health insurance. I'm self-employed, so it'd be through probably I forgot what they call it, but
The portal? That's what they used to call it. I'm not sure what they call it now. The insurance portal, sir, the federal government one.
Marketplace.
Something like
I think
that.
they call
Yes,
it the
sir.
Okay,
marketplace.
thank you.
So how are you employed, or are you self-employed?
I'm still self-employed. I've been self-employed since 2020. No, since 2018. I've been self-employed as a barber, same career.
And
So how much do you,
I guess we're just all gonna pretend like is a barber another one of those careers where just like a hairdresser, we just all are like, yeah, they don't claim all the money, just like a server? Or are we to believe that he really makes 400 or whatever he says he's gonna make a week? Like, you gotta be, it strikes me as odd when people sort of say they make very little money when they work full time. Like, I don't get that. I don't get that part. Miss Carrie, thanks for the reminder. Please like the video. And Billy, you're late. You're an addict and you're late. Well, welcome to the club, buddy.
do you make there?
On average, I make at least 300 to 400 a week. So at least usually 350 a week. Of course, sometimes there's slow weeks. Sometimes there's really good weeks. Like around Christmas time, I make.
All right, I got it, sir. I got it.
Yes.
And real quick, sir, are you independent or you work for a shop?
I'm independent. I'm working in a private suite.
Okay. And what's the name of you have a business name, sir?
Yes, it's called Trillionaire Cuts.
Okay. And what's your location?
West Adams, Temple, Texas. I think.
Hold on. Trillionaire Cuts. $350 a week. Huh? Make that make sense? $350 a week. First of all, I was just ragging on her for making $400 a week. Let's be clear. I just said she needed a new job because she makes $400 a week. This dude is self-employed and making $350 a week. You need a better job too, sir. Plus, what are your expenses out of that? How much is your chair rent? And so what it leads me to believe is that he makes a lot more money under the table that he's not talking about. That's all I'm going to say, allegedly, in my opinion.
The address is 5709.
All right. Thank you, sir. You may proceed, Mr. Welch. You're a witness again, Mr. Welch. I'm sorry. Anything? Next question.
I think he's frozen.
Am I frozen? Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you. There you go.
Okay. Mr. Welch, looked like you were frozen there for a second. I'm sorry. All right. Thank you.
My rent is $1,500.
You may continue, Mr. Welch. Thank you.
And that's so expensive, but it's only for 1/2 rooms. Oh, $25.80 is a lot. Do you get any subsidy on that?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Navarro, did you hear my question about are you okay with Isaiah's name?
I'm not okay with it. I don't like how he has Martinez added to it, but I'm not gonna That's not the biggest issue to me. I'm not okay with it. I never was okay with it, and she knew that from the beginning.
All right, sir. So before you started working at started having your trillionaire cuts,
Mhm.
what job did you have?
Um, I mean, I was just working at a barbershop called Ace of Fades in Temple, Texas.
And how much were you making there?
I was making, I was probably making at least a good 400 a week still.
And when did you leave to go to make you have your own trillionaire cuts?
So while I was at Ace of Fades, I basically became my own business still because it's like a booth rental shop. So while I was there, that's when I kind of opened my business as a sole proprietor. And then about after being at Ace of Fades for 3 years, I went to a suite in Temple. So if I can remember the date correctly, it was around, I think it's right around 2021.
So it was around 2021 when you moved to have your suite in Temple.
Yes, yes, sir.
Do you have any safety concerns with Miss Martinez?
Not, not, not really. No.
Pass the witness.
All right, your witness, Ms. Vivas. Thank you.
Mr. Navarro, you aren't disputing that both of these kids are yours, correct?
No, I'm not.
And in a perfect world, what was you change Isaiah's name to?
Isaiah Kylo Navarro.
And Amelia's last name is Navarro as well, correct?
Yes.
Um, how long have you and mom been operating off Sunday through Wednesday schedule?
So it kind of began, started around the summer of 2022.
And has that schedule been pretty consistent?
Yes, it used to be every other week. It'd be Saturday through Tuesday, and then the next week Sunday through Wednesday. And it kind of just became Sunday through Wednesday. But it's been pretty I forgot what the word you just said.
Consistent?
It's been pretty consistent, but there has been days where she brings the kids later than planned, and I'm waiting around and stuff like that.
Okay. But you've consistently had these kids every 3 or 4 nights a week for almost 2 years.
Yes, at least 3 nights a week.
And that's every week, right? Not
Every week. Yes.
okay. And what have y'all been doing as far as finances are concerned? Have you ever asked her for support or has she ever asked you for support?
I've never asked her for support. Um, she asked me for support, and there's been many times where I send her money, and
Uh,
then
why does she need support if you have the kids that many days a week?
I'm not exactly sure.
Has Isaiah always had free daycare where mom works?
She started working at daycare about a year ago, so just since then,
Okay. What did you do prior to that?
my mom would watch him, and I would watch him, and then she would watch him. So it was just between us three mostly, and sometimes her mom.
Is this schedule kind of been going by agreement this far? Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay, just a second. We lost mom. All right, let's hold on a second. I thought you might be moving in that car again. So yeah, tell people to do things they don't ever want to do them. So anyway, we'll go off the record for just a moment. Give mom a chance to get back in. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Don't you worry. I kept watching. I got it. I got it, baby. I got it, baby. Um, Also, I have. They send her a check to pay the utilities? That's nuts! Oh my god, somebody send me a check, please. I've been begging for more hours at work and they still haven't got back to me. I'm sensing a problem, but hopefully I'm just imagining it. I'm imagining the worst.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Yeah, you hit a spot and you faded out for a second. We just want to make sure you're back. Are you there, Ms. Martinez? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you. All right, you may proceed. Let me go ahead and get back on the record. All right, we're now back on the record on Bell County calls number 24 DFAM 348008. You may proceed with your questioning of your witness at this time, Ms. Beavis. Thank you.
I think I left off was this schedule has been mostly by agreement, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what have y'all been doing if someone is sick, or can't pick up or drop off? Do y'all work that out?
We try to. Sometimes there's been a couple of times she told me she's feeling sick and whether like if the parent is sick, I might have them an extra day or sometimes just watch them a little longer throughout the day.
Recording in progress. Yay, NPC! Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Members only is going to be bumping today. That's right. It's happening today. That's why you gotta shut up, Paisley. Paisley. Woo! Thank you, NPC. Amazing. Amazing. I love the names. I love seeing the names. I love it when YouTube Daddy gives them out. Yeah. Thank you. Woo!
Have them an extra day or sometimes just watch them a little longer throughout the day.
Recording in progress.
You're in here on two different devices now, ma'am.
Three. Two.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Now it's just one. Thank you. You may proceed.
And how have y'all been doing like cash medical or out-of-pocket medical expenses, like prescriptions? How have y'all been doing those?
I'm pretty sure the Medicaid been paying for all their stuff. So if we ever do have to pay for medicine, it would just be out of pocket.
But you're not aware of any costs or any money owed toward those things, correct?
No, ma'am.
And what about extracurriculars? Are your kids in extracurricular activities?
Yes, so I have put my daughter into ballet. She was doing it for almost a year. She's taking a break right now, but she's gonna get back into it this summer. And she was even doing basketball almost 2 years ago now, a year and a half ago. And now my son, he's 3, so he's gonna. The plan is to have him do fall t-ball in this coming fall.
And who's typically paying for those types of expenses?
So I was paying for the ballet stuff, and then my mom helped me pay for some extra stuff that was part of the ballet, like a recital. And then the basketball thing was free that Angelica found. It was through like a church. Actually, it wasn't free, but we went half on it actually.
So you and mom split the cost of basketball?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Who's taking the children to these extracurricular activities? You or mom or both?
It was both.
How far apart do you and mom live right now?
We live pretty close, like 5-minute drives at the most.
Do you live in the same school district?
Yeah, but since her mom works at a certain school in West Temple, that's where we take Amelia.
Are you approving of that school, or do you like Amelia going to that school?
I like her going to that school. The messed up thing was that she didn't really give me a heads up about it. I literally, this school, the beginning of the school year, I took Amelia to the school that I thought she was gonna go to, that she went to last year. I was gonna take her to her, I forgot what they call it,
Okay. Just a second, real quick, sir. Is the child, I know it sounds like y'all live in Temple, right?
We live in Belton, sir.
Okay, all right. So is the child in the BISD, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's going to be in West Temp. Okay, all right, thank you. Just want to make sure the child was in BISD. Thank you.
It is I might have misunderstood as well, Judge. Is the child enrolled in a Temple school because that's where grandma works, or a Belton school?
I think it's still BISD. It's in West Temple
This
though.
is West Temple. It's BISD. Yeah.
Yes, yes, okay.
Thank you. And when it's your time, do you do pick up and drop off?
Yes, I pick her up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and drop her off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
And she's not in after school care or anything like that?
No, only on Thursdays and Fridays, and it's not really after school care. She just kind of goes to this kind of play area where she can hang out till her grandma gets off work and then goes home.
Do you have any plans to leave the area or move out of Belton ISD?
I don't have any plans in the near future. I'm trying to stay close to my kids, so that's my priority.
Are you asking this court to restrict these kids to Belton ISD so that you can kind of exercise this possession schedule?
I think that would be okay.
Are
I'm
there
kind of
issues-
confused on that.
Yeah. Are there any other issues that you and mom are having that this court needs to address, like communication or pick up and drop off locations?
The communication isn't the best. I think there's only so much we could do about it. We kind of just do what we have to. Pick them up at Dollar General, drop them off there. No, we don't just drop them off there, but we meet there. And
Hey, which Dollar General, sir? Like I said, we got several of those things now.
it's right between our house on 6th Avenue in Belton.
Okay, got it. I know which one. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And are you asking this court for this every week, Sunday through Wednesday schedule to continue?
I would love for it to stay like that.
And that goes around everybody's work schedule, correct?
Yes, ma'am. And I'd even be willing to get them Saturday through Tuesday too, just in case, I'm fine with that. The old schedule was too, if we could.
And you say that the two of y'all don't communicate well, but you've been doing these exchanges pretty regularly for the last year or two?
Yes. It's been about almost 2 years now.
And do you know where mom lives?
Yes.
She knows where you live?
Yes.
And you have each other's phone numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I have, Your Honor. I'll pass.
All right, thank you very much. You're a witness again, Mr. Welch.
Yes, Your Honor. So do you have any other children besides Zaya and Amelia?
Yes, sir. I have a newborn son. He's 4 months old.
A wee babby. A wee babby.
So does that child live with you?
Yes.
Thank you.
How you got money for all these kids, bro? Making $350 a week.
Pass the
I'm
witness,
being
Your Honor.
serious.
All right, Ms. Beavers, anything on redirect?
No, Judge.
All right, real quick, sir. How many people live in your household at this time? Besides, it's you, your son, and the child's mother, or anyone else?
That's it.
All right, thank you. All right, any other witnesses at this time, Mr. Welch?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any other witnesses, Ms. Beavers?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Martinez, you there, ma'am?
Ma'am?
I can't hear you, ma'am. Are you there?
I'm here.
All right,
I'm
then.
here.
All right. Well, I got a couple of quick. Everybody has everybody's cell phone numbers, and that's how y'all communicate through cell phones, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. And y'all haven't been using any type of parenting app to communicate. Y'all just been using straight text messages, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right, then, Ms. Martinez, here's your chance, ma'am. You've heard the testimony. We stopped when we lost you there for a second, just to make sure you didn't miss anything. Here's the deal, ma'am. Is there anything else that you think the court needs to know at this time based on your prior testimony and the father's testimony and is relevant to this case for the court to make a decision at this time?
Mhm. Yes. So one thing that concerns me when they're over there, the eating. I don't think he's feeding them right.
Okay, here's the deal, ma'am. Here's the deal. You can only testify to what you're an eyewitness to or anything he has told you. If you didn't see it or he didn't tell you, You cannot speculate. You only can testify. That's why you call a witness. It has to be something you actually witnessed, ma'am. So, what have you actually witnessed that gives you cause for concern?
Have a witness. I listed her.
I beg your pardon, sir, ma'am.
I have a witness and I've listed her. I don't understand why she's not here.
Well, ma'am, again, I don't know why your witness is not here, and but she is not. So, my question at this time: do you have anything that you want to tell the court that you are that you are a witness to?
Yes, when they get back home, they come back like they're starving. They don't look like they're well fed. They don't look like they're taken care of. Another thing is I don't like the kids in his car when he is smoking, which he got arrested for, I believe.
Your Honor, again, I'm going to object to prior to the filing of this lawsuit and hearsay.
All right, I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask both of you. Have either of you been arrested for anything in the last 2 years? And I'm gonna start with you, ma'am. Have you ever been arrested and or convicted of anything in the last 2 years?
Have I? No.
All right, I'll go with him in a moment. All right, ma'am, you may proceed.
Okay, so I know he smokes and he likes to smoke in his car, and I'm not okay with him having the kids in his car when it smells like that.
Okay.
Other thing.
Anything else, ma'am?
Um, yeah, he's only been consistent with the schedule after I press charges. I want to say if I didn't press charges, he wouldn't have had the
Okay,
kids.
ma'am.
Same
Okay,
objection.
ma'am. Here's the deal. The testimony is y'all been doing this for the last year and a half, 2 years. Is that testimony correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't. I know you're trying to give me a time frame based on charges, but again, ma'am, he's not been convicted of anything, so he's not guilty of anything under the eyes of the law. So again, we're just looking at the time frames, and y'all been doing this, and it's been almost the same schedule for a year and a half, 2 years, and it's switched over to the current schedule when you went to work for the daycare. That's my understanding. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
from what I know, also, he doesn't have them the whole time. He'll
Hey,
send
ma'am,
a
ma'am.
guy.
Okay, again. All right. All right. Again, ma'am, you understand things, but you again, you need to testify to only the things that you're witness to. And of course, ma'am, if kids are not with parents the whole time, every time. When the children are with you, you have the right to have them with you. You have the right to have them with a babysitter. So as long as they're taken care of, parents have that right. So again, if you got anything that you can testify to that you're a witness to that was or told to you by him that gives you the cause for concern based on the information at this time.
Okay. I don't agree with the schedule that he wants to have. I want the standard because I'm not getting enough time with my kids. I have to
Okay.
work basically all day. So if anything, it would work better for me if I had them every other weekend so I can do stuff with them and not share the weekends with Alexander.
All right, here's the deal, ma'am. It sounds like you get every weekend based on the schedule he just testified to. He picks the children up on Sunday and brings them back on Wednesday. So you have them Saturday and Sunday all day, correct?
Yes, not Sunday all day, but that's the thing. Like, I also want to make sure Amelia makes it to school. He hasn't been doing that. I had to do truancy court because she's been missing school on the days that he has her.
All right, okay. That's something that it wasn't testified to earlier, ma'am. All right, so we're going to go into that, and I'll let both attorneys have the opportunity to cross-examine in a moment. You have just testified to the court that the child has been, I'm sorry, you've had to come to truancy court in I'm sorry, you had to come to the actual truancy court here in Belton based on something that with this child, ma'am?
No, not to court. It's been a course and a class. I've had to do it twice.
All right, do you have a copy of her report cards for this year, ma'am?
I do.
All right, then, and, sir, do you have a copy?
I do not.
And Your Honor, I mean, I do have screenshots, Your Honor, of certain things that are labeled truancy stuff. I can't really go into too detail because
Okay, well,
I don't
I'm
have
going to
permission
ask
from.
him about those, but I'm going to finish up with Mom, and then I'm going to let Ms. Beavis have the opportunity to speak to cross-examine her. But my last question to you, ma'am, this truancy information that you have, and this is obviously going to be on report cards and information. Are any of those have any of those happened on your watch?
On my watch?
Yes, ma'am. Are you responsible for any of these truancy circumstances?
Yeah, I did the truancy classes. Yes.
I mean, was the child truant based on your actions, ma'am, is the question.
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Was the child truant based on your what you did, ma'am? You said you had to go to truancy. Were you responsible for any of those truancy circumstances?
For some of them, yes, but most of them were his.
Okay.
Like on his days. I was taking her to school late at times. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm perfect and I'm there on time. But most of the days were on the days that he has her. There was even days where he had her miss school because of his birthday.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Thank you. All right, sir.
Yes, sir.
There's been allegations of the child being late for school. That is definitely a problem.
Yes.
Were you aware of the truancy problem, any truancy problem, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. And when this truancy problem was happening, half the more than half the time it was 5 to 10 minutes late to school. And this also wasn't this school year. This was last school year when she was in kindergarten. Now that
Okay.
she's in first grade, I probably had her late to school 2 times this whole year. So
Okay.
that problem has definitely been fixed, and I've been doing my part to make sure she doesn't have to go through that ever again. But she wasn't just missing days out the week all the time. She was 5, 10 minutes late to school, Your Honor.
All right.
It's
And
been
sir,
more than
ma'am,
two
ma'am, ma'am,
times.
ma'am, you're not the witness. You're not the witness, ma'am. Okay. All right, sir. And see, I lost my chain of thought that quick. All right. And sir, what's the name of the school the child goes to?
The school she goes to now is Tarver Elementary.
All right. Thank you.
May I follow up, Judge?
Yes, you may.
So for this year, the 2024 to 2025 school year, have there been any truancy issues?
No, ma'am.
And some of those truancy issues from last year, the 2023 to 24 year, some of those times, was it during mom's possession as well?
Yes, ma'am.
How many times would you say mom was late or had the child miss school?
I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't know the number.
Is it more than two?
It's probably at least 2.
And so this year, again, it's your testimony to this court that this child has no truancy issues this year.
No, ma'am. She does not have no truancy issues this year.
And you did testify that last year y'all were doing a Saturday through Monday or Tuesday schedule?
It was Saturday through Tuesday every other week, and then it was Sunday through Wednesday every other week. So it would switch.
So since the change to this Sunday through Wednesday schedule for this year, there's been no truancy issues.
No truancy issues, ma'am.
That's all I have.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any questions of the witness, Mr. Welch?
Um,
I mean, for Mr. Navarro, I got a couple of questions for Ms. Martinez myself. So
so for Mr. Navarro, so I think I'm a bit confused, sir. So is it Sunday to Wednesday you're saying that you've had the child every week or every other week?
Every other week.
No.
Every week.
week.
Sunday through Wednesday.
Every
What I was saying was before we had switched the week. So one week it'd be Saturday through Tuesday, and the next week it would be Sunday through Wednesday.
All right, so before it was switched, but now you stabilized it at Sunday through Wednesday.
Yes, and it really was never agreed. It kind of just became that because she would never get back to me on Saturdays.
I got it, sir.
Yes.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Martinez, how many you're alleging? How many incidents of truancy have there been for the 2024 and 2025 school year, ma'am?
None. She's just been late and she's been absent.
Okay, ma'am, but there hasn't been any truancy issues.
No.
Okay. And has she had any, to the best of your knowledge, have she, have you, I'm sorry, has she ever had any unexcused absences based on the time frames that you had the child?
Yes, she has had some unexcused absences
Okay, and that's the again on your watch, on your times.
on his time.
Okay.
There's
Now,
probably like one
now the question was, ma'am, has there been any unexcused absences when the child was in your care? And so I'm looking at those Thursdays and Fridays, I guess, for the last year.
mm, probably one.
Okay. And do you know how many unexcused absences she's had this whole year, ma'am?
No, not exactly, but I know there's a couple of them.
All right. Any other questions of the witness, Ms. Vivas, Ms. Martinez,
No, Judge.
Mr. Martin? I mean, Mr. Welch.
Your Honor, there is one thing. It's not related to this. I wanted to ask her, does she have any other children besides the two children in this case?
You can ask her any question, yeah, because yeah, and you can, and I had one final question for her also. Thank you. You may proceed, Mr. Welch.
So, Miss Martinez, besides the children in this case, do you have any other children?
No.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Martinez, how many people live in your household at this time?
It's me, Isaiah, Amelia, and my parents, my dad and my mom.
Okay. All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, any of the witnesses
Oh,
this
so she
time,
probably
Mr.
doesn't even
Welch?
pay rent. So she probably doesn't even pay rent, allegedly.
State rest subject to closing, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Bibas?
I rest, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Martinez, closing statement, well, any other testimony you want to give, ma'am? I'm gonna give you the opportunity to make a closing statement. As soon as the lawyers make theirs, you'll see how that works, and you can make yours. All right. Any other testimony you want to give at this time, ma'am?
Um, no, I think that's about it.
All right, I'll listen to closing statements.
And to be fair, let's just be clear. I lived with in the same house, a generational house, but we paid rent the whole time. So, for many, many years, it's a little different. Pass the witness does sound a little bit dirty, doesn't it, Jim? It does a little bit. Down in Texas, they're always passing these witnesses back and forth.
At this time, and I'll start with Mr. Welch, then go to Ms. Bibas, and then, ma'am, Ms. Martinez, I'll give you that opportunity.
Thank you, Your Honor. So the state does ask for, while the state understands that Mr. Navarro may have access to private health or dental, considering that he doesn't know the cost of it now, and the state does want to have a final order, state asks the court to order government medical through Ms. Martinez, cash medical support. I understand there's a custody dispute, Your Honor, but it shouldn't change. Well, actually, Your Honor, if Miss Martinez is the one who has the right to get child support, medical support payments, then cash medical should be for her. $39 per month starting May 1st, 2025. And she would then apologies, Your Honor. Can I have a couple minutes just to think this out for the support? I'm getting a bit confused.
All right, then. I'll tell you what, folks. Let's go ahead and take a judge's going to take a 15-minute break. I'll be back on at 12:15, and because I think I got a 1:30 hearing started, so let's get this one wrapped up. But for right now, like I said, it's 12 o'clock, and I'll be back on the bench at 12:15, and I'll let y'all make those closing statements at that time, and you can do your math, Mr. Welch. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
We're off the record for now. Thank you.
He got a little bit confused, you guys, but don't worry, I paid attention again. So yeah, my theory is like if you're living in your childhood bedroom that your parents like that they can't rent out to somebody else feasibly or comfortably. It's a little different than if you're living in a suite in a house that could be rented out for money if you weren't there. That's my theory. Almost every house that in our town has to have, you split it up into suites. It is a humble brag and a half if you say, like, for example, if you have a space in your house that is sort of set up as a suite that you don't rent out, that's a humble brag. Because around here, that's like $2,500 a month minimum. Who says no to that? Most mortgages, when people are buying houses, they have to account for that as money.
You're muted.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Yeah, you hit a spot and you faded out for a second. We just want to make.
Oh, that's the repeat. Hold on. we almost did ourselves dirty like that one time when I played the same case for like 30 minutes. And then we finally
A minute
figured
early,
out.
so Mr. Welch, Ms. Beavis is there. Okay. Want to make sure everybody's back in the court, and Ms. Martinez. Want to make sure everybody's back in the board. I'm a minute over, so I'll give Ms. Beavis a moment. Thank you. There she is. All right, Ms. Martinez, you there, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, then. All right, let me officially go back on the record. Okay, start the recorder. All right, we're again back on the record on Bell County Calls number 24 DFAM 348008. We reset this for a moment to allow Mr. Welch to finish his math on the request the state's making. So we're back on that record, and Mr. Welch, you may proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Starting out with, so Your Honor, as you know, the state takes no position on who should be custodial parent or non-custodial parent, but I have two scenarios. Miss Martinez as the non-custodial parent, and then Mr. Navarro as the custodial parent. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I messed up something. I'm really sorry, Your Honor. I put his just need 1 minute, Your Honor.
All right, we'll just remain on the record while you get that fixed, sir. Go. Thank you.
So he, yeah, really, get it fucking together. Basically, they should just be very simple. Flip it. Flip it real good. Do 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 do. Anyways, you guys, we are doing members only today. I'm trying to think if perhaps members only should be a little bit of a late night thing since this is going so. Oh, hand tattoo.
All right, Your Honor. I've got it now.
Now, Mr. Welch. So hold the fucking phone. Now I'm speaking. I think that might work. Anyways, okay, I'm just doing some math in my head. I've been working hard to try and figure out how to show you guys a DVD, but I think what I have to do, and I don't want to ruin it, I don't want to watch it first, but I think the only way I'm going to be able to do it is like record it with the camera and then like on a different thing and then have that video and show it to you on the computer. Maybe what I could do is start it playing, record it, and then leave. Oh, I could do that. Oh, that's what I'll do. I'll record it while I go to dinner. Okay. Now we're coming up with real solutions. Love it.
Ms. Martinez is non-custodial parent, Mr. Navarro as custodial parent. As state understands, and Ms. Martinez testified that she works at a daycare for about $800 every 2 weeks. So we take 800 times that by 20. Oh,
Mr. Gross, I don't need the math. I just need the I know the math. I think I've been doing this long enough to get the math right. I just need to know the amount, sir. Thank you. I'm just trying to speed things along. Thank you.
yes, Your Honor. So current child support would be $378 starting May 1st, 2025, monthly. And cash medical of $39 per month, starting May 1st, 2025, with government medical being ordered. And that current child support would go down to $303 per month when the oldest child, presumably, will emancipate first. And then Ms. Martinez as custodial parent, Mr. Navarro as non-custodial parent. That would be $315 per month starting May 1st, 2025 for the current child support. And then cash medical of $52 per month for the starting May 1st, 2025. And this is through government medical as well. And that.
Oh yeah, Bill, it doesn't exist on the internet as far as I can see. It doesn't exist on the internet for you and me until I post it later, baby. Sir Philip, welcome. Obviously the discussion of excitement has got Sir Philip wanting to play. Thank you.
Current child support would go down to $245 per month when the oldest child, in this case, emancipates, presumably first.
Okay.
And as for the other issues, Your Honor, state does ask the court to rule on non-disclosure based on the facts presented. And state asks the court to portion court costs. And then for the other issues, the state doesn't have any issues on name change, custodial visitation, asks the court to rule on those. And then as for the retroactive support, Your Honor, state, just like before, takes no position on it in this particular case. That's it.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Beavis.
Yes, Judge. I think you're aware of our position, but we are asking either for my client to be able to designate the primary residence within Bell County or a geo restriction to the ISD the kids are currently or will currently be enrolled in, which is Belton ISD. We're asking for I don't want to call it a 50-50, but a modified possession schedule to continue as the parties, although they state that they are not getting along, seem to have been fairly, effectively doing this schedule for the last several years, despite the allegations kind of made on both sides that they don't speak. But it's pretty uncommon to see people without orders have this type of schedule successfully for that long. So we're asking for those orders to continue. We believe that my client does have most of the time, if you look at that possession schedule every week. And he basically wants it to continue Sunday through Wednesday. It looks like Wednesday pickup is when mom gets off work around 7:00. And we'd like the Sunday kind of portion to start around noon. But obviously, we agree that the government medical should continue. I don't think my client has private medical insurance. He's self-employed, so it's out of pocket. And obviously, we're okay with Mr. Welsh's numbers. We would like Isaiah's name changed to Navarro to match his sister's and my client's last name. We're not asking for any type of back support on either side, as the parties have been operating fairly equitably as it shows, or as everyone's kind of agreed and paying for their own expenses, and no one's requested any back support today at this hearing. So we would just ask, Judge, that you continue the schedule as agreed, and of course, name the parties joint managing conservators.
All right. It's my understanding that his right now his pickup is on Sunday evenings and not in the afternoon. Is that correct?
I think they've just been kind of doing it in the afternoons to evenings. My client would like it to be more noonish, but
Okay.
If it's 5 or 6, then it's 5 or 6.
All right. Thank you. All right, then, Ms. Martinez, anything in closing, ma'am?
So with him picking them up, like it hasn't always been 5 to 6. I've asked him before, like, can you pick them up early in the morning? And it hasn't been like that. And that's why I changed the schedule. Also on the Saturdays, he wasn't consistent
Okay,
on the Saturdays.
ma'am. Again, right now, I just need a closing. What you want the court to do here? I know what the testimony is, and right now, my understanding is y'all have been doing went Sunday evenings and to Wednesday evenings. That's what I've got written down. So, what else are you asking the court to do here today, ma'am?
I just want my time with my kids just as much as he does. And I believe I'm not a bad mother. Like, I work for my kids. I've tried my best for my kids. I want more time with my kids. I've been losing time with my kids ever since I started working. And I only started work. I have to have a job. I understand that. But when I was with him, he had told me, "Oh, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to help you out." That never happened. Financially, I've been doing it by myself. He doesn't like give me any relief in anything. I've been the one that's been taking care of the kids. I take them to the doctors. I take care of their medicine. I feed them good. Like I said, I'm frustrated. Um, I would want every other weekend and Monday through Friday with my kids.
All right, so you want me to go away from the schedule you're on right now, ma'am? That's your request.
Yes, that's what
All right, Ms. Bemis, here's the deal. Tell your client, welcome to the 21st century. If I'm going to change the names, I'm going to change it to include both hers and his name. You know, I understand sound like he's an old-fashioned type of guy, but this is not old-fashioned time frames anymore. One child has one name, one child's the other. I like all children to have the same name. They had the child together. It's always been my policy. They can share the name together. So, and I always give mom the option of which name goes first, because mom does the hard work when it comes to having babies. So that's just the way the court does that. So, and I know Mr. Navarro is not going to be happy about that, but hey, one child already has this name, and that's the way it's set up. All right, so at this time, Ms. Martinez, right now, the younger child is Navarro Martinez. I'm probably looking at making the older child also Navarro Martinez, because
So the last name was pled for in the motion. That's why the judge is ruling or talking about his ruling. Very unusually, this judge normally rules right away, but this case is pretty unique. So let's see what he does.
that's the way the other ones are, and the name's already set up. So is there any problem with that, ma'am?
No.
All right. Ms. Beavis, so I know you got to talk to your client about that, but that's the way it's going to roll, and that's going to be definitely my rule. And kids need to have the same name. I'm sorry, so that's the way that sets up. But right now, that's probably the only thing I'm ready to make a ruling on. I want to go back and look at a couple things and notes. I want to go ahead and take this one under advisement, and I've got a regular docket. Let's see, this coming Tuesday's the 20th.
I have a hyphenated name, Miss Carrie. I totally get it. I grew up with a unique name. Paisley, hyphenated name, hyphenated, like, it's a lot. But, not worth fighting over. And Brooklyn's right. He's not ruling from the bench. There's another 4 minutes here where they talk about when he's going to rule. I already know when that is. It's Wednesday, the 30th, I'm pretty sure. So, luckily, I will schedule my day around that and make sure to get it. Because he's going to do it live, which is sort of great.
Okay. I've got a live docket on Wednesday, the 10th at 9:30. So I'm going to go ahead and move this one to 9 a.m. on that morning. So if everybody wants to log in, and I will make my rulings on all of the aspects of this case at this time. The only other ruling I want to give everybody a heads up on making, and that way you can get started. I'm going to go ahead and put these folks on app close. Okay. And it's going to be kind of weird, but I'm going to go ahead and let Dad set that up, and then send Mom the invitation. But going forward, folks, I want y'all communicating everything on a parenting app called AppClose, AppClose. The reason I want that because it allows the court to get data from the app if anything comes up in the future that's he said, she says. If it's not in the app, I'm not going to listen to it because I'm ordering you both to communicate when it concerns these two children strictly through the app. No private text messaging about the children, no setting up anything about the children on private phone calls or messages. Everything has to go through the parenting app. That way the court can confirm any and all information that is done going forward. So, and I'll have Ms. Beavis, you can go over your client how about setting up app close, and Ms. Martinez, you will get an invitation once he sets up the account to join the account. And like I said, going forward, that's the way I want y'all to communicate, okay?
Yes,
All right, yes, sir.
Judge, can you restate that reset date for me? I'm sorry.
All right, so I'm going to do it on the 30th at 9 a.m. And it's the same Zoom code, again, just for the ruling. I got most of it written down here the way I want to go with this one, but I want to check a couple of things to make sure I got everything that I want to try to set up, all right?
Understood. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Any other questions here, Ms. Beavis?
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Martinez, questions, ma'am.
Is it the 30th of this month?
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna do this on this coming Wednesday. Like I said, I'll spend some time after doing the break writing some of this down, but I want to make sure I got everything 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want to make sure I got everything listed. So it'll only take me about 5 minutes to make make that ruling on the record. And if you want to be there, ma'am, you can. If not, if you can't, then they can always get you a copy of the ruling. Okay. Because I know I'm messing with people's jobs. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank everybody very much. And for now, we're off the record, and it looks like the judge is now 1 o'clock. Well, 1:30 went away because the non-custodial party got himself arrested and thrown in jail. So that always makes life interesting. And this guy has an MBA in finance, so this is going to be interesting. So yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got an MBA in finance, and so far I haven't had to be thrown in jail. So, but we're good. Anyway, I'll see everybody on Wednesday. And again, I'll make a record of it and a recording of it. So if someone's not here, you can get a copy of the recording. Thank you, everybody, very much, and everybody have a good weekend. And I hope your team's first round draft choice went well last night. So,
Thanks, Judge.
And
So I just want to be clear about the app. App Close is the version that is free, but there's a paid version called Our Family Wizard. The point isn't that the court monitors it. They don't. They absolutely don't. I've literally never heard a court sua sponte, which means on their own motion, come forth and say, we recognize that there was some inappropriate conversations in the app and we are doing something about it. It's literally never happened. We watch these cases all the time. In fact, almost every time we hear somebody complain about the communication in a relationship or something like this, and they have the app, the judge doesn't go, oh, great, I can lock it in. I can look it up right now. Like, that's not how it works. What happens is the app is such that legally they have the ability to provide records that the courts are willing to accept. But lawyers can look into it, and I'm not saying that they can't look into it, just that in my experience they don't very often unless it's brought forth properly by somebody in the court. That doesn't mean that it's any less valuable. It is valuable because it will catch people up, but I think that sometimes people think it is like a wizard, or like, oh, an alert's gonna go off to, the court, like, oh, this guy swore at me, or, we're fighting on here, but it's just not how it works. Members only is going to be tonight. I think it's going to be a little bit later. That's going to depend on how I get this video set up. So keep an eye out for that. I think probably it'll be late, maybe around 10:30. 10:30. Gosh. Yeah. If not, it'll be tomorrow morning. But hopefully I'm gonna get this DVD player hooked up and record this video while I'm out. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I know some of us are going through hard times. Some of us are just always going through hard times, and we're always here for you guys. So do keep that in mind. If you ever need to vent, we're here. Anyways, do me a favor, remember that I love you and I'm proud of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I said bye. Why is it taking so long? Bye.
Ways down and ready to ride. Ways down and ready.